Hi, I'm Liz Larson with Cognomovement, and this is part three of manifesting in bite-sized pieces. So, in video one, we talked about that, about maybe just manifesting the very next thing, looking for the next thing to end up where you never imagined you'd go in the first place. And in part two, we were talking about, are you actively participating in your manifestations? Meaning, do you know how it feels when you become in instant resistance to that manifestation? And do you know how to clear it? So, in part three, I have a question for you. Have you ever manifested something you don't want? Meaning, not the bad things. Like, we know that we are creating all of our life, but did you ever want something like you really, really wanted it, only to get it and be like, oh, no, thank you? I know I have. In fact, we're in the middle of a big one right now. We really wanted something and we got it. And it turns out that it's really just not what we thought it was. Or now that we're here and everything else is going on in our lives, we're like, maybe not, right? So, how can we avoid this? If you've experienced it, you know exactly what I mean. Or when you get it, like it just doesn't feel like it's everything you thought it would be. In the moment, we all feel like if I just had that one thing, I know my life would be different. Everything would be better. If I could move here, if I could have this amount of money, if my body looked like that, I know I would be so much happier. And sometimes that's actually true. But other times, our mind is playing a little trick on us, making us think that it's this one part of our life that's out of balance that is creating our unhappiness. And in having that thing, we would now be whole or happy. When realistically, it's just a jump, a jump in place and time to create like a false safety around something that's happening in your life right now. So, how do we avoid it? But not only avoid it, how do we end up with things that we really love and that we really want? Well, part of it, I believe, it what works for me is these bite-sized pieces. Just seeing what would be more comfortable next. So, and in that way, you kind of try that on, see if it fits, try that on, see if it fits. It's often these bigger jumps that really are the ones that end up being super uncomfortable. So, here's a way to get a look at all of your nervous system, brain, body, higher self's perspective on a thing that you think that you want right now, and in having it would change your life. And you might be right, or you might actually be reacting to some painful part of your nervous system, some old pattern, program, artifact, some experience that happened to you a long time ago that now, in the presence of the discomfort you're experiencing, makes you look towards something that feels like a remedy and really in the long run isn't. So, what you can do is let your system take a look at the thing you want to manifest. So, let's say that today you're uncomfortable because there's not enough money in your bank account. And you decide, if you just had that better job, the raise, or if you just had that degree, life would be easier. Or if you just had, that partner in your life who had money, and that would make your life better. First, notice, is this thing a band-aid to fix all the problems in your life? That is probably a number one big red flag. If it is, probably that is something you need to do a bigger session around. It's not about manifesting, it's about where you are right now that's making you uncomfortable. So it's about clearing out the discomfort and clearing out the pattern that keeps you in the cycle you're in. So that's number one. Is it a big thing that you want to solve an ongoing problem in your life. Number 2, check to see when you say, if I only had, does your body react? Go back to part 2 and soften that up, clear that up. But the third thing is it something that you don't necessarily want, but it solves problems? Okay, so what do I mean? Like, do you really want to be the manager at that job? And you want the money that goes with it, that solves the current problem? Or is what you actually want to be an entrepreneur, to be an influencer, to be an artist, to be a singer? See where my mismatch might be? You need the money. So the solution is the management position right now. But long term, that's not what you really want. So you end up in a position of wanting what you do not want, which is an interesting thing that we all do, right? It solves a solution. It solves a problem we have right now, but it isn't the truth of who we are and what we really want. So that's another red flag. So, but remember that I said earlier that our nervous system, our logical mind, will trick us into thinking this is what we need and what we want right now. So here's what you do. First, notice how your body feels about that thing. If there's a lot of tension, you need to clear that tension. That's step 1. That tension in your body tells you there's something about this that is off. It does solve an immediate problem, maybe, but there's something about it that feels uncomfortable, feels too tight, feels out of place, right? Do a bigger Cognomovement session on that. You want to clear that out. So that's one of the big things you want to take a look at, is that piece. Also, is it something that makes you excited? So that's the converse. So when you think about, man, I really want that management job, and I think I want the management job. Yes, it would give me more money, but I'm really strategic about this, because if I get that job, then I'll learn this piece, and that'll take me to the next step that I want. So if it feels exciting, forward moving, really exciting and really forward moving, you'll notice it in your body. There'll be a part of your body that feels like, I win already, right? Like, oh my gosh, what a fantastic and inspired idea I just had. Okay. So those are the things that you want to try on physically about this manifestation. So once you're relatively sure, yeah, I think this works for me, I think this is what I would like to do and where I want to go, and I think it's what could happen next. All right. Notice how your body feels about it. Good, bad, tense, uncomfortable, tight. Be honest with yourself. What does it really feel like? Drop down into it like we did in part 1 and part 2. Really feel into it. Notice if it's familiar. Maybe it's a familiar tension, and this is going to give you another warning sign. Maybe this isn't it. If it's a familiar, yeah, and that's right, then that's a good sign that you're on the right track with choosing this item. All right, just feel what you feel and notice what you notice. Next, we're going to just go on a little eye journey. You're going to let your eyes drop down and let your kinesthetic body think about this. Not closed, just down, left and right. And breathe. Continue to notice how it feels, and even say it out loud, that manager's job and the money that comes with it. And notice how you feel. Your body's going to react instantly, and it's going to give you the cue. Okay, breathe. Next, you're going to move your eyes hard right and kind of go up and down the wall. And breathe. Really make them stretch all the way up and down the wall. We're in our left brain now. What does our linear left brain have to say about this thing? I want the manager's job because it'll give me more money. Oh, and You know what? Maybe it'll give me more prestige. Okay. Notice how that feels. Great. Just about 30 seconds on each side. Next, we're going to move our eyes hard left. We're going to be in our right brain now. We're going to look up and down the wall, really letting those eyes stretch. Really stretch. I want that manager's position because I really need the money. Oh, yeah. And I think it'll make my dad happy. Different things are going to come up in different eye positions. Great. Next, let your eyes move gently up across the ceiling and breathe. I want that manager's position because it'll bring me the money. Notice how your body feels about that. And what else is possible? Here is a nice question to ask. Oh, wait a minute. Actually, I don't want that manager's position at all. I really want to be an influencer on YouTube. And I really like to cook. All right, you guys get the idea. So the different parts of your body, down is connected with the physical body, the emotions, right, we're in the left brain, more linear. We're looking left, we're in the right brain, we're more creative. We're looking up, we're in ideas and inspiration. Try this on in the 4 areas before you actually set your sights on manifesting. It'll give you a huge amount of information about whether or not this is right for you and whether or not you're going to really want it in the long run. There's nothing that's less fun than getting a manifestation that you really thought you wanted, you tried so hard for, and realizing it's not at all what you wanted. You want to make sure that everything in your life that you choose from here on out is forward moving towards who you came to the planet to be. Not just to solve a current problem. Yes, you can do that, but in solving that problem to become more of who you came to be. In solving that problem and creating that next manifestation, do you actually create what you want to create on the planet? Even just this much. If you're manifesting just to solve problems, you're probably going to end up in a place that doesn't feel amazing. And your manifestations from this moment on and every little bit that you choose can create amazing if you let it. All right, I'm Liz Larson with Cognomovement. If you're brand new to Cognomovement, go to cognomovement.com and click on Start Here. That will lead you on a path to learning more and more about this work and how to create the life you choose and the one that you came here to create. If you're one of our Cogno movers who's been here with us a long time, this series may be helping you think a little bit differently about the way you phrase, about the way you word, about the way you choose the manifestations in your life. So you will know how to clear these things out of your body, but how to ask the questions first is really the thing we want you to think about with this little manifestation series. All right, we'll see you guys all again soon. If anything amazing happens, any miracles, it's mandatory reporting. Please reach out and let us know. We'll see you all again soon.